Pura versus Aera. If you've done any shopping for any fragrances online, there's no doubt you've come across one of these two, if not both, smart diffusers. So what are they? They are what the name says. They're smart diffusers. They're a way to spread wonderful scents throughout your home. So here's the basics. The Pura Smart Diffuser is $44. It has well-known popular scents like Capri Blue and Nest, a unique nightlight, and holds 2 scents. The Aera has 2 versions. They have a $200 smart version and a $150 touch version. They create their own scents. It only holds 1 scent at a time. So, what were we looking for in our quest for a smart diffuser? Well, the first thing was we wanted to spend less money on candles. We wanted something safer than candles, and we wanted to fill our first floor with wonderful scents. Now, one thing that we didn't think about that is kind of surprising in retrospect is, what the heck does pink pepper smell like, or bergamot? I don't know, do you? But you know what a Capri Blue volcano candle smells like. For Aera, it's a little bit more difficult. We'll dive into this more in just a second. But Aera also has a great option. If you don't know what some of these things smell like, you can order some samples. So let's dive in a little bit more. Which is cheaper? Well, sounds easy, but it's not that easy. The Pura diffuser is $44. Be sure to use our special promo code to save even more. It holds 2 scents. Each scent is about 15 bucks a piece. They each last about 300 hours. We'll talk about that more in a second. For a total of about $74 to get started for 600 hours. If my math is correct, that's about 12.5 cents per hour. Now let's compare that to the Aera Smart Diffuser. Now, the smart version of the Aera diffuser is 200 bucks. It holds 1 scent. Each scent costs about 50 bucks or so. It says it lasts about 800 hours, which equals 250 bucks. If my math is correct, that equals about 31 cents an hour for your first purchase. It gets a little bit closer when it comes to refills. So for Pura, once again, remember it has 2 scents, so about 15 bucks a piece, $30 per refill. Works out to be about 5 cents an hour. For the Aera, $50 per refill because it only's got 1 scent, holds 1 capsule there, about 50 bucks. Works out to be about 6 cents an hour. Just to put that into perspective for you, just in case you're wondering, what the heck does a candle cost? It costs about 35 cents an hour. I was actually surprised it was so expensive. So which one's cheaper? By a long shot, it's Pura here. Now, the next question, which I alluded to at the very beginning, is which one has better scents? Now, you know the scents that you're getting with Pura. You've got Capri Blue Volcano. We actually use Capri Blue Havana Vanilla quite a bit. It's got Nest fragrances. It's got a lot of fragrances that you've seen and are able to purchase at other places. Well, it gets a little bit more complicated when you're talking about the Aera diffuser. Now, the only way I can describe Aera's scents is perfumey. And they all are very perfumey, and they also have a very floral smell to them, which is okay if you like that sort of thing. But once again, it's really tough to know what does pink pepper smell like or even bergamot. We have tried them all. Every new scent that comes out, every new email that we get from Aera, we think, oh, this is going to be the scent that we like. We're going to love Happy Green. We're going to love Mandarin Mint and Moss. We're going to love Vibrance. We've tried them all. Literally, you can see how many we've tried. And we don't frankly like any of them. We are still using our Aera, which you'll be a little surprised about where we're using it, and I'll show it to you here in just a second. The scents are really hard to guess what you're going to like and what you're going to not like. As I mentioned before, Aera does have a great way where you can test their fragrances through some samples, which if you're considering spending $200 on the Smart Diffuser, we highly recommend you do. So for us, which one has better scents? It's really easy here. It's Pura. They are the far and away winner, especially for us. So which one has better coverage? Pura covers about 500 to 1,000 square feet is what their website says. Aera covers about 1,000 square feet. That's what their website says. But you have to deal with this with Aera. Now, did you hear that? That's the sound of their fan, which distributes what they call micro droplets. You can hear a little bit more when I put another capsule back in. and there's when it's off. Our floor is a kind of open first floor, as you can see in these pictures. The Aera does a great job spreading out the scent throughout the entire first floor. So which one has better coverage? It's Aera, by a pretty decent shot. So the next thing that we wanted to look at was what has better overall setup and operation. This is where things are a little bit different with both the devices, where there's not really apples to apples. So the Aera, for example, it has Alexa voice control. The Pura, it doesn't work with Alexa. The Pura has geofencing and knows where you are and can turn on a scent or turn off a scent when you're not home. The Aera doesn't have that. The Pura does have a nightlight and the Aera doesn't, which we didn't think that was really that big of a deal. We don't really need a nightlight, but it looks really cool, and you can program it to be all sorts of different colors. Turn on all the time, turn on at different times, or just when it's dark out, which we thought was pretty cool. The Pura also has 2 different fragrances that we've mentioned before. You can have them turn on every hour or switch every hour or have them on all day. The scheduling on it is just a little bit wonky, but that's really no big deal. I'm sure they're working on a software update to make that a little bit easier to handle. But for overall setup and operation, the winner is Pura. Well, that leads us to our final verdict here. Which is better, Pura or Aera? And the winner is Pura. Now, if you're just paying attention, really the only place where Aera outperformed Pura was in the scent dispersion category, if you will. And Aera does a really great job. It makes a little bit of noise to get that scent out, but it does a much better job spreading the scent throughout a large area. We had a party on a Saturday, and our garbage comes on Friday. So all of our garbage had to stick in the garage and stunk for almost an entire week. We weren't using the Aera because frankly it's too strong and we didn't really like the smells. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to put this in the garage. And that's where the Aera is today. They have a whole line of home hygienic fragrances, which are perfect for removing odor, like in your garage. I know it seems crazy to spend $200 to remove fragrances from your garage, but it works, and it works really well. A couple other things I'd want you to know about just before you pull the trigger on either one. The Pura does not last the 350 hours that they say on their website. At least for us, we live in Colorado. It's a very dry climate. We never tested the Aera to the 800 hours because frankly we didn't like any of the smells that much. There's something about a candle that we still use every so often. The Pura is going all the time. We switch out between Volcano and Havana Vanilla, but every now and then we have to light a candle because it just gives that little extra boost of scent that a diffuser can't. If you were on the fence before about Pura versus Aera, we hope this gave you some clarity. Once again, you cannot go wrong with Pura. It's a great value. It works really, really well, and we love it. We're happy to give it our We Tried It seal of approval. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below. Did you like this video too? Give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. We hope to see you again real soon. You can check out our full review of both Aera and Pura using these links. And just a little disclaimer, we got the Aera first, and we really liked it at first, frankly. We got the vanilla. The vanilla is our favorite scent, just because it's the only one that's not floral. So check it out. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. We hope to see you again real soon.